Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Let's go ahead and continue.
Thank you, Sadhguru. We have a very enthusiastic audience, and I'm sure they have a lot of questions to ask. So,
Sorry to pause right now. Hold on. One, two. The reason why I pause and laugh is because she said we have an enthusiastic audience. I'm sure they have a lot of questions. And the sad truth of the matter is, in a lot of these, they only get to ask like one or two, and I'm sure there's like a line of people wanting to ask Sadhguru questions. Like, all right, we finally, a Q&A with Sadhguru. Only one or two questions gets asked. Like, what the hell, man?
They're about to fall asleep, that's what I'm saying.
yes.
Hello?
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. My name is Karishma Joshi and I was an Isha homeschool student.
Oh,
Yeah.
how come I missed you?
And when I found out you were coming to college, I was so happy. And my question to you is, in Mahabharata, we see Amba, she's so determined to take revenge on Bhishma. And she goes to Shiva, and Shiva actually grants her that boon. So, why would somebody want to live their whole life just with the sole intention of taking revenge on somebody, and how would this affect them?
Ooh. Well, I guess the story of Shiva granting wishes to people is very interesting now that I know a little bit more about karma. In Dharma, maybe? So Dharma is supposed to be righteous action. But anyways, there's I think a story where Shiva was granting a lot of people, any wish they wanted. There's one in particular that wanted to get something that could kill gods, I believe. And Shiva granted it, and then I don't know if this is the same story or not, and then granted it, and that person got the knife and started chasing after Shiva, trying to kill him. Shiva ended up running to, I think, Vishnu, and Vishnu solved the problem. But it made sense to, like, why Shiva did it, because of, if I understood Dharma correctly, being play your role in life, play it justly. So if you say you're going to do something, do it. Well, maybe that's not the right phrase to say it, but do things justly. Play your role in life. But anyways, interesting. How would I answer this question? Why their sole purpose in life is revenge? I would say that's, for me, karma is, I don't believe it to fall through life in life, but if it, I don't know if that's real or not. I only know of this life. That's my only experience. I do believe in karma in this life. But in terms of at least karma falling through life, I guess maybe that's going to be the karma of the person she's trying to kill?
Thank you.
Well, whether we like it or not, there are such people in the world, all right? Yes or no? Are they there or not? They are there. So Mahabharata is depicting all sorts of people. Every kind of character that can exist on the planet is there. There are over 100,000 characters representing the best, the worst, in between, every range is there. So she is one. Because, see, just now, some time ago, when she asked the question, something horrible happened to somebody, an abuse happened to somebody, and that person not willing to forget. Some will become hurt and wounded, some will become angry and vengeful, depending on their own nature and also the situation in which we exist. So she is in a royal setup. Here, vengeance is considered honor. Vengeance is not considered vengeance. Vengeance is considered as a virtue. When somebody hurts a king or a queen, they must go and finish them. Till you finish them, your job is not done. This is the culture in which she is. We must not look at it from today's time and today's culture that you are in. That time she is in a royal family, she is a princess and she is insulted. She feels horribly insulted by what happened. You know what happened to her life. Now she wants to, at any cost, extract a prize for that. So she goes for that. So she is asking Shiva, the question is why Shiva is assisting her, is that it? Is that the question? Yes. Shiva is like that only. because, this happened to him. Once Ravana, you heard of Ravana? Ravana came to Shiva and worshipped him and praised him and glory. So he loved him so much and he said, you ask whatever you want, I'll give you. And that guy says, I want your wife. Shiva is in a mood like that, he says, okay, take her. Parvati is having a bath in the Manasarovar close by. And this guy goes looking for Parvati to take her home. Then somebody goes and tells her, Shiva has granted permission that this man who's come from somewhere in the south, he can take you and go with him. She said, yes, he lost his mind. Then, you have heard of these things. Have you been kissing frogs? No. You don't believe that story? No. This started a long time ago. So Parvati took a frog and made this frog into a beautiful young woman and left her in a lake adjacent to Manasarovar, which is today called as Rakshasthal. So Ravana went straight to Rakshasthal and saw this young woman. He thought, she's Parvati, took her and went home. Then he realized she has come out of a frog. But she was Mandodari, that's why she's called Mandodari, one who came out of a frog. But she was beautiful and wonderful woman, so she became his queen and stayed there. But his thing about wanting to take somebody's wife again took him to Ayodhya, you know. You know all the trouble, that's another matter. But you must understand this, that which you are referring to as the highest or the divine cannot be discriminatory, isn't it? Hello? If God says, whoever the God is, if he says, I'm responsible for these people, I'm not responsible for those people, is he fired or no? Hello? Fired or no? Because essentially, it is a response, a limitless response. When something responds to everybody, if their thing is right, then we say this is divine. It only responds to me, not to you. This is not divine, this is my party, isn't it? Hello? So when Ravana, as a great devotee, he worshipped him, he said, ask whatever you want, but that guy should have civilization. But he has nothing like that. He says, I want your wife. He says, okay, take her and go. So in that context, she burns in front of Shiva and says she is doing austerities after austerities, putting herself to extreme difficulties and says, all I want is to kill this man, give me the power. I said, okay, have it. But this does not mean it'll lead to your well-being. See what happened to Ravana? The same. A man was driving.
Real quick, before we get to that story, I kind of figured, because obviously everything that you do deals in karma, so if this is bad karma, you're going to develop bad karma. But also at the same time, maybe this is bad karma for the other person? I don't know.
In Mexico, and he ran out of gas. Then he walked and there he saw a local monastery where monks were living with very meager resources. He said, my car is run out of gas, do something. So the monk said, see, we don't have anything else here, we don't have cars, we don't have gas, but I can give you a mule. You ride on the mule to the next town and then you can get gas there and come back. Only thing is, we have trained the mules like this, you sit on it, you don't beat it, you don't do all that, you just say, praise the Lord, it will go. When you want it to stop, you say, Amen, it will stop. So he sat on it and said, praise the Lord. It went and went and went, the whole day it travelled. Then he saw the mule was going straight towards a cliff edge. He wants to stop it, he's doing this, that, but he's forgotten the mantra. He tried everything, but the mule is just going straight to the edge of the cliff. It came right here, about to take its next step. Then he remembered and said, "Oh man, it stopped." He looked down 2,000 feet below. Oh my God, praise the Lord. This happens, you know. Anybody, please take the microphone.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Pritika. I'm a grade 12 student. So we're studying and living in this very overly competitive world where everybody wants to be the best. And sometimes I find a difficulty in deciding what the right path is for me. Because even though I may be good at, say, dancing or singing, there's always somebody who's better than me. So my question to you is, how do we find the motivation, how do we find the motivation to do something that we like for the sole purpose of being happy ourselves instead of following the society's demands to, be the best at what we do? Thank you.
This seems pretty simple. I mean, if it's something that you enjoy doing, why do you need to compare yourself to anyone else? If you enjoy doing something, do it. Do it because you enjoy it. Don't do it because you want to be the best at it. Being the best at something and enjoying something are generally two different things. Being the best at something takes hard work, and it's not necessarily something that you can enjoy per se. Obviously, you can enjoy knowing that you're the best, but getting to that point is not usually very enjoyable. So I guess you could say in one of my hobbies, I don't do a certain thing on a hobby very well, but I still enjoy it. I do my best, it's not the best, but I like it. So I do it. Whatever, if anyone, a lot of people are generally speaking are very nice, so, it is whatever. I enjoy doing it, so I do it. If someone thinks it's ugly, it's like, well, you know what, you're probably right, but I still enjoy it. So if you genuinely enjoy something, do it. Don't compare yourself to anyone else, because you're not doing it to compare yourself with someone else. You're doing it because you enjoy it. If you genuinely enjoy it, just do it.
Now, this ailment has caught us quite a bit. We don't want to be the best, really, if you really look at it, because you don't know what is the best. Does somebody know what is the best? Hello? Do we ever know what is the best? We don't know. All we want is, we want to be better than the person who is sitting next to us. This is a disease, because what you're enjoying in your life is not what you have. You enjoy what she doesn't have. She's number two. That's the only joy you have. When you enjoy something that other people do not have, or when you enjoy other people's suffering, when other people's suffering is the source of joy for you, I think it's sickness, not joy. Hello? Yes or no? It amounts to sickness or no? But right now, this sickness has caught all of us. Right from an early age, they're teaching you this. At home, they told you, you must be first rank. You never asked, what about the other children? I asked my mother this, she thought I've gone crazy. I asked, what about the other kids if I come first? She said, this boy is crazy, because she's repeating what was told to her by somebody else. So if I come first, what about the other children? It doesn't matter. You must sit on top of everybody's heads, only then life will happen. No. If your joy comes from the source of other people's suffering, it will not lead to well-being, either your well-being or the world's well-being, isn't it? So why do you want to be the best? What is important is, this life should find full expression. Everything that this one has should come out of this in this life. This should not go unfulfilled. Whether it's better than that one or not is not even the issue. And every human being, have you seen one more person just like you? How fortunate, see? There isn't another human being like you, because one more person like you on the planet would be trouble, huh? Too much. One is too much, isn't it? Two like you, 10 like you would be impossible. So, nobody is like you. The important thing is, will you unfold all the possibilities that you hold within yourself? This is all the concern should be. But right now our systems are created like this all the time, who is fast, who is best, all this rubbish. Well, competition is okay for short term. You want to run a race, okay, who's going to win? That's fine. But life is not a race. If life becomes a race, and if you want to win, you must hit the finish line first, isn't it? What does it mean?
You're dead.
You want to hit the finish line today? No. So you better not win, you'd better not be the best. So don't make life into your race. Limited sport we will play here and there, where we race with each other. Just to test our grit, all right? Huh? You and me are going to race right now. Now we will race like our life depends on it for a short period of time. But if you make your entire life into your race and if you win, you're gone. No, not a good way to do life. So you don't have to be the best. You just have to be the best that you can be. Everything that you can be must happen. You don't have to be better than somebody else ever. It's not necessary. And nobody can be, because every one of you is a unique being. When you're unique, is that better? Or you're one up on somebody, is that better? You are unique.
I'll say this. Let the consequence of you being the best be the consequence of you trying to be the best of yourself. If you happen to be the best at whatever it is you're trying to improve yourself upon, let that be the consequence of your actions, not the actions of your consequence. Is that right? No. But don't let that be the goal, is to be to be the best than everyone else. Because you don't know what your capability is, you don't know what everyone else's capability is. You just have to make sure you improve upon yourself to the best of your abilities, and then if you happen to be the best at that, let that be a consequence of you trying to improve yourself, not the other way around. I was going to say that. Sadhguru said everything right there wonderfully.
Namaskar. Before I begin, may I request you to ask 2 questions?
Yes, sir.
Before that, I love you so much.
Oh, he just broke my heart.
Sadhguru, my first question is, I'm not able to pull out myself from the grief. Like, whenever I see a child begging on the street, girl or a boy, my conscience just keeps biting me, like, you are not doing this for them, you are not doing that for them. So, then I talk to myself saying that if I could earn unlimited, I could do so many things for them. So I don't know how to get out of this feeling. Whenever I see, I just, my legs start walking towards them. And I just spoil the mood for myself. So how to be practical? Like, it's too much of emotion which is disturbing me.
I will say I completely understand where he's coming from. Whenever I went to go when I went to go visit my my birth country, and you see a lot of kids on the street, barefoot, maybe flip-flops, selling things on the side of the street. Just little things that they can pick up from the ground and sew together. I remember one instance seeing them come up to the van, and I know what he's talking about, and it's really hard. The only thing I can say in practicality is that you can't save them all. I mean, you can try. You'll end up becoming broke and homeless yourself if you really try super hard. The practicality is it's really weird. It almost sounds heartless, but you got to make sure that you don't put yourself you don't become part of the problem, in a sense. Essentially that, they're homeless or whatever their situation is. You want to make sure that you don't add on top of that. There's going to be, hopefully there's going to be people out there that can help them. And if you put yourself in that situation, then you're adding on to the stress of people trying to help these people out. So the best thing you can really do is at the very least, not put yourself in that situation. And then if you happen to make a lot of money or whatever it is, volunteer for whatever shelters and stuff, then help them out that way.
You see, there is an unfortunate reality in the world, particularly in our country, where many people have not eaten properly. A lot of children still go to bed without food in their stomach. This is a reality. But today, there is some encouraging news because United Nations has made a study and shows in the last decade, that is from 2006 to 2016, they made a study and they said about 270 million people in the country have come out of the poverty line in the last 10 years rather, in the last decade. It's a fantastic news, isn't it? You're not saying anything, huh? In this country where over 1.4 million children were dying of malnutrition before they become 5 years of age, has come down by nearly 430,000. Still 970,000 are dying, but we must celebrate the success, very important. Because everything needs a momentum, success needs a momentum. If you grieve over things which are bad, you will give momentum to those things which are bad. You must give momentum to those things which are solution. Don't give momentum to the problems, give momentum to the solutions that are happening. And the choice that you and me have is just this: do we want to be a part of the problem or do you want to be a part of the solution? This is all the choice we have. Now, let us say 10 people are miserable here. More than 10 faces are looking miserable. Let us say 10 people are miserable here and because I see these 10 faces, I will also become miserable. Have I solved something or have I added to the problem?
Yep.
Added to the problem, now there are 11 miserable people. So it's very, very important that if we want solutions, we must go beyond our natural, reactive emotions that we have towards various things and look beyond that and see what is the solution. For that solution, we must strive continuously. Will the solutions happen immediately? No. Maybe it'll not happen in our lifetime. But are we a part of the solution? Always are we a part of the solution? Will all of you young girls take this stand in your life? You will always be a part of the solution. Hello? Always. No matter in what situation you are, whatever the situation of your life, it could be personal, it could be social, it could be national, you are always a part of the solution. You will not take sides with problems. Hello? This one thing you take in your life, you will see, you will know the joy of unfolding all your capacity. When you're part of the problem, your possibilities will not come out. When you're part of the solution, you will do things that you never imagined you could do in your life, simply because you will unfold into that possibility. So just become part of the solution. This does not mean you are the solution, no. Because there are people busy always creating new problems. If you solve one problem, they create a new problem. This happened. Can I tell you a joke? You all right? You're not too serious for that? No. A woman in Tennessee, our center in the United States is in Tennessee. So, a woman in Tennessee was marrying for the 5th time. So she was just a day away from marriage, she was having dinner with her fiancé. And she served him mushroom soup. And he took in a spoon and nice candlelight and romantic and everything. Then he asked, "How did your first husband die?" She said, "Well, he ate poison mushrooms and died." Okay. "How did your second husband die?" "Oh, he also ate poison mushrooms and died." Now he kept the spoon there. "But how did the third one die?" "Oh, in fact, he also ate poison mushrooms and died." Now he got terrified. He asked, "How did your fourth husband die?" "Well, he died of a broken neck because he refused to eat poison mushrooms."
Technically, right now, they're not married, so they're not husband and wife yet.
So what do you want to have? Let's be part of the solution. We are not the solution on this planet. We are part of the solution. We are adding to the solution, we're giving energy and strength to the solution, that's all. Will we solve everything? No. But we must have the fulfillment in our life that we have been a part of the solution, not part of the problem. How did you fall in love with me? Social media love, is it?
Good afternoon, Sadhguru. My name is Sonia Alphonse. My question to you is, I personally feel that I function more efficiently in the night than I do in the day. It's not that I've changed my biological clock or something and I sleep during the day, but it's just that I feel more productive, not only while studying, but otherwise. I feel invigorated in the night. So why is it so?
Maybe you're in the wrong country, huh? There are three types of people who do not sleep in the night. A rogi will not sleep in the night. A rogi means a sick person because he cannot sleep. A bogi will not sleep in the night. A pleasure seeker will not sleep in the night because night is conducive for him, for his kind of business. A yogi also will not sleep in the night because for him also night is very conducive. Which one are you? You can decide, I don't want to say anything about it. Why night is? See, light, we value light because our visual apparatus are made in a certain way. See, that man has an eye in his hand also. Yes, because we value our visual apparatus so much, we thought two is not enough, three should come. Normally here, but if somebody got it here, what to do? Wrong place, but at least you can close it and open it. But we value our visual apparatus so much simply because they designed in such a way that only in light you can see. What light does to you is, it makes everything distinct. See, now because it is lit, I can see this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. Suppose lights went off and this became dark, I just see a mass of people. I don't see this person, this person, this person. So there is a certain sense of lack of boundaries in the night. So for yoga, for sexuality, for friendship, for being together, for study, for focus, for all these things, night seems to be more conducive because the difference between what is you and what is the other comes down in the night simply because our visual apparatus function like this. Where there is no light, everything merges in our experience. So a yogi, a bogi and a rogi, all three of them make use of the night. You can also make use of it, there's no problem unless you're sleeping in the classroom. If you're not sleeping in the classroom, it's fine, nothing wrong with it. But you will see, you try this and see, mornings are a nuisance. But, can I share something?
Before I share something, I don't know if you want to be reading in the dark. It's going to be kind of hard. You and the book has merged to become one, but yet you cannot feel out the words unless you're a blind person and you read Braille, like Grail.
I was made like this. If I sleep in the morning, normally my school used to be 8:30 in the morning. From 6:45, my mother and my sisters will start waking me up. It's a series of efforts. Many things. They'll make me sit up in the bed, they'll come and twist my arm and do this and this. My mother will do it gently, my sisters will do that. Then they will drag me and my mother will put toothpaste on the toothbrush and give it to me, I'll stick it in my mouth. She'll get me my clothes and say, go and have shower, it's time up, time up. I go inside the bathroom and fall asleep. If nobody wakes me up, till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll just sleep like a rock, not wake up and roll around, simply dead.
Now we see why Sadhguru only gets 3 hours of sleep. He knocked out all his sleeping time when he was young.
But I started practicing yoga at the age of 12. In about maybe 8 to 9 months, after that, no matter where I am, even till this day, where I am, which time zone I am, every day I am in a different time zone, but at 3:35, 3:40, I just come awake, because some changes happen in the nature at that time. My body just comes awake. If I want, I can get up and do what I want. If I don't want, I can sleep some more, but it always comes awake. So you have to bring some sensitivity into the system that, see, you are a product of this planet, yes or no? Whatever nonsense individuals may think about themselves, we are all just a pop-up from this planet. You seen those pop-ups on the computer screen? Pop, pop, yes? You're just a pop-up, you'll be gone. You can't believe you will be gone. Ah, me? I will be gone? Yes, all the very smart people, countless number of people who walked this planet before and you and me, where the hell are they, huh? Not a sign. All became topsoil, isn't it so? Weren't they pop-ups? Aren't you a pop-up? Oop, oop. You may think you have a great life and this and that. As far as the earth is concerned, it's just recycling its soil. Just throws you up and draws you back, throws you up and draws you back. So in this little pop-up, the important thing and the most important thing is, you create sensitivity within you, such sensitivity that every dimension of life comes into your experience. Before you fall dead, is it not important? You experience this life in this fullest possible scale, yes or no? Experience means people think, we must party every day. No, same damn thing, how many times you will do? There is much more for the human life to explore. You must become sensitive. When I say sensitive, because the word sensitive is used in the wrong way, in the sense, when people say, oh, she is very sensitive, we are supposed to understand, she will get hurt for just about anything. Yes? No, being sensitive to life and being ego-sensitive are two different things. Being sensitive to life means if you walk into this hall, you experience everything that's here, you don't miss a thing. If you walk outside, you don't miss a thing, every dimension of life should come into your experience. This happened. Shankaran Pillai bought a he bought a work donkey. And the man who was selling the donkey said, see, this is a very sensitive donkey. You cannot beat this donkey. You cannot use bad words, you cannot abuse this donkey. Shankaran Pillai said, that's great. Every day I'm tired of beating these donkeys and abusing. Every day I have to use filthy words to get these donkeys moving. I like a sensitive donkey, and he paid little extra bonus for the sensitivity of the donkey and took it home. He left it in the barn, and tomorrow morning he has to go to work. He went there and told the donkey, please let's go. No response. He said, please, let us go. Nothing. He went down on his knees and prayed. Nothing. You're not supposed to abuse it, you're not supposed to beat it. Not knowing what to do, he went back to the man who sold the donkey. See, I requested, I pleaded, I prayed. He's not responding, what am I supposed to do? That man said, is that so? Let me see. And he came. He picked up a thick stick like this. One whack on the head. And then he threw the stick and said, come. The donkey followed. Shankar and Bilai got furious, you idiot, you said it's a sensitive donkey, and the way you hit this animal, I've never hit an animal like this in my life. He said, no, 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 he's very sensitive, first you have to get his attention. So, developing sensitivity means, if you simply close your eyes, you must know what phase of moon it is right now, because all this is playing in your body. Every day it is playing in your system. Do you see if it's a full moon or a new moon, the entire ocean is coming up? There are tides, isn't it? You ever been to the ocean side or you don't? You do? There are tides? Yes. The whole ocean is trying to rise. 72% of your body is water. You think nothing is rising? It is. For every position of the sun, moon and many things that are happening to the planet, they're happening to you. You must become life-sensitive. Then you will know how to manage every aspect of your life. Don't become ego-sensitive, don't become society-sensitive. Life-sensitive if you become. What's happening with this life if you know this one thing all the time? You will see, you got your GPS on. There's really no problem, you will never get lost. It doesn't matter who says what kind of situations you're put into, you're never ever lost because you're life-sensitive. This is all this life needs, that this has to become life-sensitive. Right now, we have developed a psychological structure which has got nothing to do with life, it's got something to do with the social scene, got nothing to do with the life. Thank you very much. I think people… Are we okay? Because people are looking at watches, so I thought I've exceeded my time.
That was the last question we were taking. If you have any other questions, you can put it up on social media. Sadhguru, we would like to thank you so much for gracing us with your presence today. We would like to thank…
Well, I would like to say a few words. All of you young girls or women or however we refer to you, you look like girls to me. That may be because of my… See, I want you to understand, everywhere in the world, but particularly in our country, so many young women of your age in rural India, in various other levels of society, what all they're going through in terms of lack of nourishment, lack of education, abuse, all kinds of terrible things, no opportunity of any kind. All of you have come into a premier institution like this. Make this a possibility, don't get tangled up with your own thoughts, emotions and make a misery out of this life. You must become a great possibility for yourself and every other life around you. Beyond gender, beyond race and religion, even beyond nationality, just function as a human being. This education should become an empowerment to empower you to become a great human being, because without producing great human beings, we are not going to produce a great nation. May the best be with you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so… that speech at the end that Sadhguru said made me think of certain things that's going on in colleges in the United States right now. And it's not great. It's from… I don't know how many colleges are doing this or how serious of a matter if it is. But it seems like there is some truth to it, I just don't know how much because I'm glad I'm out of college. That they're teaching essentially people to be victims. That's what's going on. again, I don't know how serious of a matter it is. I know it's true, but I just don't know how severe or how much or for how many colleges is doing it. But I've heard enough people in different colleges talking about this to know that there is at least some truth to it. Sadhguru here telling and teaching, not teaching, but telling these people to use this as an opportunity to better yourself. And then you look, and I think of the different things I've seen and that people say in colleges. They're colleges teaching students to be victims. Sadhguru over here telling college students use this as an opportunity. You are blessed. You are privileged. You have the best outcome possible to make something of your life. And in America, they're saying you're a victim. Well, not everyone will agree that America is the greatest country, but just say even in America, if they say this is the greatest country, they live in the greatest country. They have all the opportunities in the world. And they're victims. I'm not saying America is the greatest country in the world. It has some great aspects, it has some terrible aspects. But it's irrelevant because it doesn't matter how great a country is if you're teaching people to become a victim. And it's really sad, honestly. It's you know, I watched some of Jubilee's video where they talk about African Americans and Africans, and one of the Africans was saying, like, you know, I'm blessed to come here, and he's saying that, you know, the racism stuff happens in his country, but it's of the same color. Like, brutality happens even in their country. They're saying that even with the stuff he faces in America, it's much better over here. Only because Americans are not well traveled, meaning that they don't go flying all over the place and don't realize the truth, don't realize how good they have it here. And again, it's not to say that America's perfect either. It's not about that. It's people are dying to come to America. My family is trying to come to America wherever it can. And then you hear a whole bunch of other people trying to come to America. And then I hear people in America, especially one of my coworkers, explain that, oh, because you don't know how bad it is over here. It's like, no, you have no idea how bad it is back home, or bad it is in their home. You have Hispanic people I'm sorry, I am ranting bad here. You have Hispanic people crossing over the border, working illegally, making so much money. I'm quoting that. They're not really making a lot of money, but they're making so much money that they're able to live in the United States and send money back home. They're being paid under the table, as they say, meaning that it's not tracked, not traced. It's really sad. You have Americans here who claim victimhood, who claim they got everything against them, but then you have illegal aliens over here, getting jobs, having enough money to pay for houses, and enough money to ship money home. Obviously, these people do live in like groups in like a small house, but because the one thing they understand is that they don't have unlimited money. They have to be wise with their money. But in America, oh man, they're not taught anything about financial stuff. I can't remember the names of the shows, but they're financial shows as well, where they teach you, you know, how much money you should have saved up, where your money should or should not be going. It's a bit harsh to watch those videos because you say, oh, you're only supposed to spend $20 a month on yourself. Everything else should be going to what's necessary, you know, light bill, your car bill, your whatever bill that's not excess bill. You know, your streaming services, cancel all that. You going out with you buying all this fast food, cancel all that. Should be eating at home. And all the money that you have saved up, put it into 401k. You know, it's a little harsh. There's a little bit of a leeway there, so long as you're putting money into your retirement, so long as you're paying all the bills. and saving and have enough money saved up for emergency, I think that's pretty good. And then when you have a lot of free money, you should be putting a little bit more in your 401k, and you can have a little bit more for yourself. You know, you don't want to. I guess the saying that these people would say to counteract that is that, oh, I don't want to die and not spend the money that I saved up. You know, that what's the point of living life at that point? Yeah, but guess what? If you're spending all that money and by the time it's retirement, you have nothing for retirement, you're going to be working until you're dead. You can't enjoy retirement. So it's a balance. It's a balance. Again, I do see America as a really good country. The best? Probably not. Obviously, there's definitely a lot of things he's got to work on. And I think she's getting worse, honestly. Got the best military, though. But again, even so, you know, that doesn't mean anything if the country itself is kind of rotting on the inside. I'm not saying it's corrupt, although there's obvious corruption. I'm not saying that everyone's rotten. It's just that it seems like it's growing. It seems like it's getting worse. And I hope I leave this plane of existence before that happens. That's really weird to say. But anyways, that's my reaction to Sadhguru at Sophia College. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. I'll see you in the next vid. My gosh, I'm forgetting my lines.